Have you ever heard music that was so beautiful that it made you stop whatever you were doing and just listen? Hey friends, welcome to Eyezz. I am Jarrett New, and today we're talking about Robert Rich, who's one of the most outstanding and creative musicians of our time. Now, being that he's not signed to a major record label and he self-publishes his music online, odds are good that you may have never heard of him. So that's why I'm making this video, to help spread the word that his music is awesome. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, what kind of music is this? Well, in the broader sense, Rich's music falls into the new age / ambient category, but I don't think that label really does it justice. These are not your average run-of-the-mill new age albums of water flowing down a river or chanting or Tibetan bells. These are much deeper. In fact, when describing his own music, Robert calls his unique sound sonic surrealism, and I think that's a much better title. Each one of these albums is like stepping into a whole dream world of sound. And unlike most music, it's not about the lyrics, the beat, the melody, or the chorus, but rather the atmosphere, the tone, and the feel of the music. So in that sense, this music is very different, but also very special. So where did this all start? Well, in the early 80s, Robert did his first ever sleep concert at Stanford University. Now, what exactly is a sleep concert? Well, basically, that's when Robert would perform all night from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m., and he would encourage people to bring sleeping bags and pillows, and as they fell asleep, his music would be guiding their dreams. Super cool. And as Robert said later on, these concerts were essentially sonic explorations at the edges of human consciousness. And when it comes to the experience of the listener, Robert said that during the transition between being awake and being asleep, your dreams might become more intense and vivid. So essentially, with his sleep concerts, Robert was trying to push the boundary of what we normally define as music. He was showing us that music can also be a tool to explore our own mind. Now, being that everyone loved the sleep concert so much, Robert went on to recreate the experience of a sleep concert in the form of two different albums. Somnium, a 7-hour album which was released on DVD audio in 2001, and Perpetual, an 8-hour album which was released on Blu-ray audio in 2014. Also, as a side note, this is probably why you'll never hear his music on the radio, because it's just too long and you can't throw in commercial breaks. But although he isn't on the radio, he has performed all over the world, including in caves, cathedrals, planetaria, art galleries, concert halls, and lots of other venues. And thankfully, this last February, I got the chance to see him during a free concert in Pomona, California, and it was awesome. It was a small venue, about 40 to 45 people, and he basically had us all in a trance for about 2 hours. And after the show was over, he was nice enough to take pictures with us and even sign some CDs and Blu-rays. So he's also a really nice, down-to-earth guy. Now, another thing you should know about him is that he's very motivated and creative, and he's not going to let anything get in the way of his music. For example, on March 11th, 2005, he severely injured his right hand when he slipped while carrying a glass jug that he had been cleaning. Unfortunately, the jug broke and sliced into his forearm, sending him to the hospital. And he's got an entire blog post on his website talking about this particular incident. Now, although he recovered from the accident, the dexterity in his right hand was affected, meaning that he couldn't play a normal flute on his albums. So what did he do? He made his own out of PVC pipe that were much easier for him to work with. So I think that's really cool that he found a creative solution and didn't let this accident slow him down. Also, speaking of his creativity, during live performances, Robert might also use heavy fishing weights to hold down certain keys on his keyboards so that his hands can be free to adjust other settings. Also, another instrument that he uses is a custom lap band steel guitar, and in order to gently bow the strings, he uses a little piece of metal that he actually found in his toolbox. Check it out. So clearly he's a very capable musician who can fix his problems with creative solutions. Now, getting back to his type of music, as I've mentioned in other videos, it's not for everyone. Some people are gonna love it and others not so much. And that's totally okay, because life would be really boring if we all thought the same. But I will say this, if you're willing to try something new and you want to support an awesome independent musician, I highly recommend you check out his Bandcamp page, where you can pick up most of his albums on CD or a lossless high-resolution digital file. The link is in the video description down below. And if you're looking for some recommendations, these are my favorites: Lift a Feather to the Flood, Vestiges, What We Left Behind, Filaments, Perpetual, Calling Down the Sky, Echo of Small Things, and my top favorite, Nest, which is probably the best album to get started with. And I also posted 2 other links down below as well. The first one is a documentary short about Robert, and the other one is an interview with him where he describes his music in more detail, so be sure to check those out as well. Now, what do you guys think about this kind of music? Do you like ambient, or maybe not so much? Let us all know down in the comments below, and if you love music in general, be sure to subscribe and smack that little notification bell so you won't miss the new videos. And most importantly, friends, have an awesome day and keep spinning that vinyl. Robert, you're awesome. Keep up the good work.